Hello, I'm Ralph Ferguson, Managing Director of the Texas Tech University Ethics Center. Today we have visiting with us Derek Fetzer from Johnson & Johnson, who leads the CaringCrowd project for them. So I'd like for Derek to introduce himself and also tell us more about CaringCrowd.
So my name, again, Derek Fetzer. I work at Johnson & Johnson in Global Public Health. We have a platform called CaringCrowd, and it's a crowdfunding platform specifically for public health, community health projects around the world. So they can be within the United States, they can be in literally anywhere in the world. The basic idea is to help out underserved and neglected communities worldwide.
Okay.
And so the platform allows passionate people working alongside nonprofits to crowdfund for free on the platform. It's free. The platform is free of charge. There's the only fee that you have to pay is the strike charges, which is about 2%. These are payment processing fees. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
Then let me go a step further. We're going to have about somewhere between 3,000 to 4,000 people that have access to this discussion we're having. And so, how would their organizations use your platform? And how may they contact you to want to use your platform?
So it's very easy. The easiest way the first and primary way is just to go to the site and go create a project. It'll go through a wizard, and there's several steps. But basically, the requirements are that you have to be working alongside a 501c3 nonprofit. That is, so a 501c3 doesn't mean that it's a U.S.-based nonprofit. So many times people ask me, well, I have a project, the nonprofit works somewhere else in the world. And what's very typical and very routine is that nonprofit has a relationship with a nonprofit here in the United States, one of the 501c3s. So you just need to work it out with the nonprofit, establish your relationship with them, that you might want to be the project owner, that is the face of the project on the site. You basically upload the project description right on the site, and then from there there'll be a dialogue between yourselves and my team, and from there the project itself that you've submitted online will be routed to an independent advisory panel.
Okay.
That advisory panel consists of experts from Harvard, Johns Hopkins, Northwestern, etc. They'll look at this project, and within 2 weeks you'll have a response as to whether you're able to post the project or not.
Well, let me drill down a little bit and ask a different question. Let's say an organization decides they want to use the platform to do a project where Kenya, Liberia, Mexico, but whichever country they choose, how do they transfer the funds that they've raised to you to get to the target 501c3 at the local level in that particular country of choice?
So once you have the 501c3 nonprofit here in the United States registered on our platform, that will include the bank account information that the nonprofit will provide you, and you put it onto our platform. Once the project that you've put on our platform gets to its 100% funding threshold, at that point all the pledges people have made materialize into donations, and at that point our payment processor, Stripe, turns the pledge charges your credit card, and the money goes directly to the bank account of the nonprofit. The nonprofit at that point then transfers the money abroad to the sister nonprofit in say Kenya or in any place like that.
But when that occurs, then you're local here in the U.S. and you know the money went to Kenya, using Kenya as an example. How does the local 501c3 can report back with certainty to their membership that the fundraising that they did and those dollars are rendering the activity or serving the activity that they had designed it for?
Right. So when when the project owner opens and posts the project on CaringCrowd,
Okay.
there's also an update feature. So then after the project's been
Okay.
funded, the project owner puts, look what's happening, right? And just by virtue of posting it on the project page, anybody who's contributed or following that project
Okay.
will automatically get an email of the update.
That's outstanding, dear. I did not realize that you had that feature. So,
Yeah.
so basically, anyone that knows how to access can go out there, find their program code, click on it, see where
Right.
it's at, what's going on.
Absolutely.
Outstanding. The other thing I think that a lot of folks want to know, Johnson & Johnson is a large corporation, and I think the majority of the work that is being done with CaringCrowd is associated with public health or health-related issues. Is there a particular reason that Johnson & Johnson CaringCrowd has singled out that as being
Yeah.
the important place to go?
Right. So I think it has to do with the core values of the company, right? At the end of the day, we're a healthcare company, and the employees want to see health in the world, right? And this is something, this crowdfunding platform, CaringCrowd, is something that we're able to do well. We have a very strong IT capability. We have excellent marketing capabilities. What we don't have are boots on the ground all over the world, and that's what the nonprofits bring. So both of us working together can actually have a huge impact around the world.
When we look at the idea of globalization and public health, what programs that you could highlight today that CaringCrowd is already on the ground doing what it needs to needs to get done?
Right. So CaringCrowd isn't on the ground.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right?
All
It's
right.
the
all right.
nonprofits.
It's the nonprofits on
right?
the ground. That's
So
right.
the nonprofits are on the ground.
Okay.
And what we're helping them to do is provide an infrastructure that the nonprofits can't support.
Right.
Right? And then the nonprofits projects, and along with their project owners, which could be a college student, an employee of any company, could be anybody working alongside that nonprofit. So I think what the beautiful thing is when you start seeing historic firsts happening on the platform, right?
Okay. Okay.
So, for example, in the Congo, there was a project where a community of 100,000 people received its first ultrasound unit through a project on CaringCrowd, right?
Okay.
Another one was to finance a country's first emergency care physicians.
Well, the one that did the ultrasound unit, can you tell us what organization led that charge, or what group of students
it was
did?
Amani. It was a nonprofit called Amani.
Okay.
And they found out about us through word of mouth early on, and basically and posted the project. And people came together. They basically let their social networks know about it, and that's what the platform allows. It allows nonprofits, especially the smaller nonprofits, it allows them to do this easily, right? The logistics are taken care for them. Yeah.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, you could actually have multiple nonprofits that have a target country and say, let's work together, raise some funds, and then contact CaringCrowd,
Right.
present a proposal, and make it work.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And it could be any nonprofit, right? Any 501c3, right? So it could be a collection of them. It's really up to how other people want to work together. CaringCrowd is very easy to work with. It's basically, you have a project owner, you have a nonprofit, a 501c3, they submit a project, it goes to our advisory panel, it gets reviewed, and it gets posted or not. Very simple.
What has been a project that you've participated with through CaringCrowd, or another project where you've seen seem satisfied that this is a wonderful way to do business?
Yeah. So one of the
it's not a wonderful way to do business. It's a wonderful way to help folks out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think one of the projects that I thought was just incredible was a hand washing project. So that was basically to teach children in schools in a country in Africa the importance of hand washing to prevent diarrheal diseases. the children, well, they learned about this, and part of the project was to put sinks in a collection of schools. And so hundreds of children learned and began washing their hands in the sinks at all these schools. And after a while, the greater community came together and started realizing, hey, this is an important thing, and we can start making our own soap. And as they made their own soap, they realized there's an economy around this. As other villages began to realize, hey, we can use that soap, and they began to buy them.
So they actually did create a business, business-related activity. Now that we've had so much damage in our hemisphere as a result of hurricanes, we can actually talk to or encourage 501c3s to work or to present proposals to CaringCrowd to look at how to do public health initiatives on all the islands that have been hit.
We've actually had 3 projects for the hurricanes already on the platform. They got funded very quickly.
Okay.
But you know, the projects on CaringCrowd are very specific. So many times, if you look at some of the larger nonprofits, they just say, "There's been a hurricane, give us money, and we'll figure out what to do."
Right.
On CaringCrowd, there's the nuance is that it's a very specific project. Is we're going to help these people in this way in this time.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's very good. I think, Derek, if there's nothing else that you have to add or to instruct us about CaringCrowd, if you have any additional thoughts, I'd like to hear them.
My only thoughts is the subject of health is very broad, right? So sometimes I get people saying, hey, you know, is this a health project or not? And so approach us and ask. You know, don't outrule it out altogether, because we've seen projects, for example, drama therapy for children, for disabled children. You know, so the category of health is very broad. We've seen, you know, a lot of the projects that we have are for basic support, but we're looking at infectious diseases, accidents and injury, projects specific to women and children, healthcare systems and access, chronic diseases, mental health, surgery, and humanitarian emergencies.
Well, the program is CaringCrowd, and we will post the information on the Texas Tech University Ethics Center website, and we'll post it in our Facebook. And I think it's something that if you want to do some service to help people around the world, this would be the place to go. Thank you, and Derek, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.